Here's the moment a 6.4 magnitude earthquake struck Taiwan. There are a couple seconds of trembling before the room pitches widely as people run for their lives. In the aftermath, 2 terrified dogs are gathered up and brought to safety. It was all caught on surveillance cameras at a youth hostel. At least 10 people died in the quake and nearly 300 were hurt. Rescue efforts continue to look for people who may still be trapped in the rubble.
The 12-story Yunmen apartment block is sitting at a precarious 45-degree angle after the powerful 6.4 magnitude earthquake which struck the coastal town of Hualien. It is being held up by half a dozen steel beams which have been delicately manoeuvred into place to keep it from collapsing. The first 3 floors of the building were ripped apart with incredible force. They are now a twisted wreck of concrete and metal. With tremors still being felt, the rescue operation has been a dangerous procedure, each floor mapped out in detail before being searched. 60-year-old Jian Shang said it was a terrifying experience being taken out from his 6th floor flat.
It was like the world was ending. Suddenly it went dark and the building felt like it was falling down.
6 people were killed and over 250 have been badly injured. This family returned to pray at the scene of 3 of those deaths. They are used to earthquakes in this part of Taiwan, but this one has hit hard.
A series of aftershocks overnight and into today, plus this heavy rain, have hampered the rescue efforts. And the government has warned that the tremors, which have measured up to 5 in magnitude, could continue for the next 2 weeks.
The search for survivors has been halted several times due to strengthening aftershocks. But each time they are forced to evacuate, these rescue teams return to the rubble. They call this the golden time, when there is still hope of finding someone alive. Debbie Edward, ITV News.
Images show extensive damage to buildings and infrastructure in the Hualien area. A 12-story building leaning heavily to one side was the focus of the rescue effort Wednesday. Engineers worked to secure it with concrete blocks and steel bars before going in to evacuate residents. The effort was hampered by aftershocks and rainy weather.
This is the most difficult part of the rescue right here at Yangcui building because it's tilting by more than 50 degrees. So all our rescuers who are entering the building, if it collapses, all of them will be killed immediately.
Hualien is a popular tourist city with about 100,000 permanent residents. Many have taken shelter in the city's sports stadium.
I came here at roughly 3 or 4 a.m. There were constant aftershocks, so I didn't dare stay at home, even though the area around my house is actually not that bad.
The residents may be used to earthquakes, but for some visitors it was a first encounter with one.
I've never actually experienced an earthquake before, but I'd heard people say that there were often earthquakes here. So at first I didn't really react, but later when lights started smashing and the floor was covered in glass, that is when I realized it was serious.
President Tsai Ing-wen visited Hualien Wednesday morning.
We are using all our resources in the rescue effort. We will not give up and will not let go of any chances to save those who can be rescued. We hope that we can rescue everyone who is trapped, but we also have to make sure that rescue workers are safe.
More than 250 people were injured and the death toll is expected to rise as the search and rescue effort continues. The quake was felt in the capital Taipei, more than 160 kilometers away. Zlatica Hoke, VOA News, Washington.